Friends, enemies, and those still under review, welcome back. This is Jack. If you were there for the original version of this stream, um, I'm sorry I got so frustrated. I was having an insane amount of tech support issues and that. Because I've had nothing about tech issues today. Hopefully, my main issues have been resolved. Um, I had a big brain idea, and I'm pulling up the stream on my other computer, or at least so I can see the chat from there instead of how I currently have it. So then I just have the tech on that side. So big brain, ginormous brain. That was my now. All right. So if anybody's wondering why I'm doing the stream this way, or doing a stream instead of doing a video like I would normally do, the main reason is I've had an insane amount of tech issues today, and I'm getting over being sick. So, you know what? Screw it. We're doing it live. So we're going to talk about the new episode of I Became a Villainess. We're going to do the new episode of I Became a Villainess as a stream, and then because I'm already here, we'll talk about some gaming stuff and so on and so forth. I don't know why it's saying no data there, but it's clearly fine. Hi, Gothic. All right. So let's get rolling. So Liz goes to war, kind of, sort of, sets up for it. But first, we have to say Grandpa Will's backstory has finally been explained. He is the uncle of Duke, as we kind of figured out. Now, what happened was he is the person who used too powerful of a spell, which almost destroyed the manor castle, whatever they lived in, almost froze it over, and he lost his ability to do magic, therefore losing his right to be king. So his little brother took over instead. And so he just fell into an advisory role because he was still a really smart guy, and he had 3 friends who helped him. Well, eventually he suggested that rulership of the kingdom be split among the 5 major families. And his brother didn't like this. He sided with his mom because they had different moms. And apparently the queen or whatever her technical dowry queen, I think would be technically what she's called, appears to have set up and framed Will to have attempted to kill his brother, which Will straight up denies, and was exiled to that town after getting his eyes destroyed. Now, he's officially listed as missing, not a criminal, so technically he's there not even as a criminal, so if he were to get out, they couldn't really arrest him or anything, and I'm assuming the queen's dead by this point. I don't know. So he has decided he is going to move forward, and he is going to try and deal with his brother. Now, on to what y'all are actually here for. We see the same old story happen again. Some of Liz's friends try to frame Alicia, and this time they don't even have a recording device. They just talk to her in front of the gate, pretend they're on Liz's side, and try to get Liz to say things that are highly offensive. And obviously, Alicia doesn't fall for this. So instead she gets pulled into a conversation with Liz and all the other harem guys, and they're like, oh, she said she's just a horrible failure of a noble, and Alicia had actually said the opposite. She's like, no, she's here by her own merits, and commoners are exceptional. Commoners are just fine. And Liz actually believes Alicia because she's seen this over and over again where people try to frame her, and she's like, no, I believe you, Alicia. But thankfully, or whatever, the little blonde noble boy who's supposed to be in her reverse harem, whatever you want to call it, steps up and says, no, I was there for the event. Those girls are lying. This is not up for debate. They're lying. They were trying to set her up. And that would have been fine and all, but Alicia decides to be the villainess and refer to those 3 girls as trash, which actually for the first time we see Liz actually lose her cool, straight lose her cool, and tries to defend them. Alicia continues to poke the bear. The conversation ends after Alicia leaves with Liz saying the phrase, actually, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and pull it up. I can. I actually have the video already set up. Because there is a bit to this scene that's kind of important. All right, let's see. Here we go. Are you all seeing the correct stuff? No audio. So Liz is trying to protect the girls. And apparently there was this wild wolf thing, which I'll explain that in a second. So here's her walking away, and Duke, of course, coming to her defense like usual. Here's the important part. Now, she officially does not say friends. Now, this is very important. This is like another one of her aura things going on. You actually see them lose their consciousness effectively and are being hypnotized. And turning on commoners, which is weird because Liz is a commoner. And then I'm putting my trust in Liz the Saint. So it's exactly the she has the ability to not just influence but straight hypnotize people. Yeah, I still think she's doing it subconsciously. I don't think she's doing it intentionally. Still think it's a side effect of her being born the saint. Um, and then the last part of it is they basically start because the wolf is not supposed to be from this kingdom. It's not from the region. It's from a different kingdom. So Alicia is suspecting that another nation is trying to test what the saint is capable of for whatever reason. And Duke is trying to pull her out of this. He teleports her to his hidden study somewhere in the school and basically tries to get her to stop. He does the whole hand against the wall thing and just basically like does a bit of like the usual anime seduction thing. And Alicia headbutts him. Says, I will not give up my freedom." And he says something along the lines of, "You will not be a bird in the cage. You keep finding new ways for me to fall in love with you," or something like that. So overall, this episode is a good episode. It has a lot that happens, and it's setting up for the final confrontation of the last 2 episodes. Because I'm assuming this goes to 12 episodes. I could probably look up how many there are. I haven't, though. All right. So if you're here for just that part, like, subscribe, share. See you on the next one. All right. So far, it doesn't look like we're having tech issues, so knock on wood. This button should do it. I'm moving my OBS back to my main monitor up top because I was using my little drawing pad as a monitor. So that's why you see me like. Yep. All right. So we're going to be talking about animes I'm going to recommend. Now, if you were here for the previous stream, you saw me. I was meandering. I'm going to be precise on this one. This is my watch list. Some of these I haven't watched yet, so deal with it, deal with it. Hashtag deal with it. Right now I'm watching Saga of Tanya the Evil, and right now how I feel it is a very good depiction of an evil main character, like a legitimately evil main character. I don't like Overlord for various reasons because it feels like it's a forced evil. She's just an evil character, just not a good person. The only thing I don't like is to continue like getting you the feeling of how dark and evil she is. Mind you, it's a giant world war going on. It's World War I effectively with magic. They do introduce characters on the other side, and you get a lot of emotional feel from, but you know they're gonna die, and I don't like it. But overall, good anime. Apothecary Diaries, don't miss it. Don't skip out on it. Great anime, 10 out of 10. It has the best depiction of a character with autism I have ever seen in an anime. Also, she's legitimately a smart character. She's not a character who the narrator tells you is smart or other characters say she is smart. You just watch and you're like, she's a smart character. She's insanely smart. And then the overall story of like intrigue within the court, her solving these mysteries, phenomenal. Freaking recommend it. Ascendance of a Bookworm. This would be rated a lot more, but the main character's quirks sometimes annoy the hell out of me because she's obsessed with finding books in a world that there's just not a lot of, because it's more like medieval Europe. There's just not a lot. There's no printing presses. Everything's done by hand. And she uses her knowledge to like try and make books and stuff like that. She also has problems where she gets sick all the time. That's explained. But overall, really good story. I really do hope they do the second season, which is kind of like a lot of important stuff happens. Not going to spoil it, but I do recommend it. It does have a lot of emotional moments, like straight emotional moments. And there's some really dumb moments that annoy the hell out of me. Like this one specifically, she's basically given the choice of going somewhere or doing something that would guarantee she would live, or staying home with her family. And she chooses to stay home with her family where she's going to die because of what's making her sick. And it's like, I get wanting to be around your family, and nothing stops you from still seeing your family, but if you die, you still can't see your family. So, and the main character is isekai. Banished Hero from the Hero's Part. This is actually one of the best depictions of the no longer in the hero party animes, and it's got one of the best anime relationships. Period. It's not 12 episodes of will they, won't they, or one of them has to die and they fall in love. No, it's none of that. This anime is just straight fire. It's entertaining. It's good. It's got a bit of a slow pace to it because it's meant to, but it's good. Each episode is enjoyable in its own right. And the part of him not being in the heroes party lasts the whole first season, which some other animes, which I'll get to, don't do that. Okay, Rise of the Shield Hero, y'all know how I feel about that. Failure Frame, I feel like it's trying too hard to make this dark main character, and ultimately falls a little short on it. They try to make this main character dark and twisted, but it's really him trying to justify. But he keeps having to justify himself why he does good things. Whereas like Tanya the Evil incidentally does good things by like saving her colleagues and making sure they're strong, but she like her reasons are like straight evil. Arfuente, the new season's good. Arfuente is up in the air whether or not you like it. Massive harem anime, overpowered main character, and he is ruthless. Like he's not evil. He's just I will do whatever it takes to win. I don't care. I haven't seen that one. Haven't seen that one. All right. Spirit Chronicles, new season's good. The only reason I don't recommend watching it for a couple episodes until it finishes this season is because this episode does a lot of setting up to set up to set up to set up. Now, the episodes are enjoyable in their own right, but it has a lot of him avoiding the issues, and it just gets really annoying. Like, this one actually does the isekai thing really interesting, where he's not the Japanese guy who has the memories of the life he just took over. He's the guy he's the guy from that world who has the memories of the Japanese guy. That's how he addresses it. And he chooses not to address that side of him very often. In fact, he hides it 99% of the time, even when people he should directly relate with it. And it annoys the hell out of me. Most Notorious Talker. Once again, they try to make him another anime of a emo, try to make ruthless character entertaining. Like, I don't know. This is like, it's not a bad anime, but it's not a good anime. Up to you on that one. Interesting concept behind it, though. How a Realist Hero Rebuilt the Kingdom. Watch it. The main enemy is Paperwork, just a heads up, but it's really enjoyable story. It does have a harem side to it. Deal with it, hashtag deal with it. It's Son, not bad. Power fantasy trip. Y'all know how I feel about it. Aristocrat, I've mentioned this one before. Hero banished from the party. Now, this is what I was talking about when it comes down to character being banished from the party and it being garbage. Because, like, I actually like the trope to some degree, but it only takes place over, like, the first 4 episodes, and then it's just not an issue anymore. And, like, the depiction of, like, him being powerful like should have been something that anybody could have picked up on, because yes, he's not a good healer because he can only use the basic healing spell, but he's able to spam it. And 2, him with a dagger took off a Hydra's head, and like their main fighter couldn't, and they still kicked him from the party. Like, even if you're having ego issues, you should be like, hey, wait a minute, this guy's a lot more powerful than. So like it irks me. Don't watch Combatants Will Be Dispatched. It's a horrible anime. The main character is so freaking annoying. I couldn't get past the first episode. I'll give you like the main reason, like a big one is they have evil corporation sends people to planet take over. They get points for doing evil or thinking evil things, and they spend it for upgrades. He doesn't spend them on upgrades because he's an idiot. And the girl's a robot, actually an android. They go to this civilization. There's this giant cube that apparently was supposed to help with rain, actually cause rain, but hasn't been working for like a year, so there's a massive drought. And she's able to fix it. She fixes it, and they had to set a new password, which is part of the ritual to get it to go. And he sets it to Dick Party. Because he thought it was funny that if the princess had to say it for the ritual, and then the girl goes, you do know the king would probably be the one running the ritual. And he's like, oh. And then while he's getting chewed out by the king for doing that, he's just talking to the android in Japanese, like he's not speaking their language, and it's just so annoying. I couldn't get past the first episode. It had a cool concept, couldn't get past it. Do Over Damsel Conquers the Dragon Emperor. I have 2 problems with it, otherwise it's a good anime. The age difference between the protagonist and the love interest is obscene. Like, he's like 18 to 20, and she's like under 12. and there's a reason for it in plot, but it's still I don't like it. And the other thing is the main character got rewound in time by 7 years from their death for various reasons, and she has all of her memories and skills, and she's really powerful. Like she used to be referred to as the daughter of the god of war, and she has all of her abilities. But a lot of the episodes seem to go out of their way for her to not be able to use her powers, or she straight loses them, and it just annoys me because like, what's the point of her being that good? And then Goodbye Dragon Life. It's just another anime of I'm secretly super powerful but can't reveal it, or can't even use my powers half the time because I can't reveal it. So up to you on that one, but it's not bad. I'd wait for it to finish, which has got like 3 more episodes. Let's see, is there any other I really need to cover? Not really. There's a couple more I recommended in the previous stream, but I'm not going to do it again. I'll do a video on those. Anyway, that's pretty much what I wanted to cover. One of the things I did want to bring up, I talked about this on my other stream channel, Jack Daedalus. So there's the whole Sony buying out FromSoft. It's actually the other way around ish. The parent company to FromSoft wants to be bought out by Sony, so it's going to happen. What this means, I have no idea. I don't have faith in Sony because even when they do have a solid gold game, they try to sabotage it. Helldivers is what I'm talking about. Speaking of Helldivers, there's a lot of people who have been mining out the code, data mining, the like updates and stuff, and they're like, oh, this is what's coming, this is what's coming, this is what's coming, and and the Illuminate being the big one. That's how they usually like, oh, here's the trucks that are coming, stuff like that. And the developers have noticed this, so they started naming the updates like weird things, and it's kind of funny. And the other thing is, it really does look like the Illuminate's coming because apparently they did a survey of the black hole, and there's no it's just a black hole, nothing else. So stop worrying about it. That means that's where they're coming from, which is odd because it's in bug territory. So I wonder what's going to happen. I'm messing with the camera. That works. There we go. Anyway, that covers like 90% of it. Oh, in regards to Banished from a Hero's Party, I think an anime that does it really good. The only thing is it's a harem anime. It doesn't do a lot of perverted stuff in regards to a harem anime, but it's still good. Is Beast Tamer. Because he doesn't act like a super lusty asshole. Instead, he actually just acts like their friend. He ends up with a bunch of females following and supporting him, but yeah, that's a good anime in its own right. He's a goody goody two shoe. So if that's what you want, that's what you want. I think that's what I wanted to cover. I don't think I have any other stream stories I wanted to talk about, or at least none that are game oriented, or I'm just looking through some of my notes. You know, I'll talk about this, even though it's like on the edge of what I would talk about. This is technically science. So I talked about this on my other stream, or on my other channel. Lonely individuals tend to think and talk in unusual ways. Studies find. I'm going to sum it up from how I understand it. People who are lonely tend to reference and speak about things different from each other, and because they don't have the social bubble to feel included with other people, that makes them feel lonely. So, for instance, let's give the hypothetical of everybody loves Keanu Reeves. Everybody loves him. He's a great guy, and he legitimately is. But you're a person who just doesn't like him. You don't trust him for some reason. And this is not just on one thing. Multiple things are along those lines. Eventually, you start feeling isolated. You feel like you're the odd man out. And this is actually how like cults like bring you in. Like you feel like you're ostracized, you don't fit anywhere, and then they make you feel like you're welcome, and then they can control you. Depending on a lot of proteins, will do that too. Um, so yeah, that's what that. It's just an interesting study. Um, I thought, and this also adds to the idea of why so many people felt isolated and lonely even coming out of COVID. And the reason why is you had about a year of like the people you were friends with, the people you used to hang out with, getting a social disconnect. It's not a big one, but it was a small social disconnect where you guys experienced the COVID outbreak differently. Some of you had to continue work, some of you were able to socially distance and stay home, so on and so forth. And then not to mention you consumed different media during this time and wasn't really able to like go to the movie together to like share the media. And that left people, and not to mention a lot of people lost a lot of social skills because you weren't. I developed social anxiety legitimately. Like being around people makes me a little. So yeah, that's it's just an interesting thing. So like I know like it's usually not something I cover on the my channel too much, but this is something I like because something that doesn't apply towards me. All right, not gonna lie, getting tired. I got wings in like an hour and 30 minutes. That's how frustrated and pissed off I got earlier. I ordered wings, which is my go-to like comfort food. I am gonna try and stream on here more often. I don't think I'll probably like take my earlier stream and like the beginning part about Villainous and turn it into just a straight video and cut it down instead of like doing a super intricate video. If y'all have any ideas of what you would like to see me stream on here, not Let's Plays, let me know. I have some ideas. Um, yeah. Trying to think if there's anything else I want to cover. No, that's pretty much it. All right. Appreciate y'all being here. And once again, if you were here for my first stream, I am sorry for how frustrated and pissed off I got. The tech issues. Like, let me tell you all the tech issues I had. So I had to record, like, I did record like the video for Reincarnated Villainous 3 times. First time, Zane jumped on my computer and disconnected the cable to the camera. So I was like in the middle of the video. So I was like, all right. I yelled at him. Second one, I found out the mic wasn't even working. It just wasn't working. So like because like it was picking up my sound, but it was garbling it. So like I couldn't use that video at all. And so I re-recorded it, thinking it was thinking I just recorded it badly. And no, and the third recording I found out no, it's just straight up the audio sucks. So oh, no, the third time I actually did just fine. I fixed the audio issue. So I have the video. Then I find out. So these are headphones I use when I'm doing quality control. Like right now, I could listen to myself and stream, and it's on my other computer. The aux out cable, or the aux out cable in the back of my computer broke. It doesn't work anymore. I had to scrounge and find a way to get it to work. Right now, it's connected to an Elgato microphone that's behind me that I use when I record on my other stage. There was that. There was like a couple other things that happened. Oh, and then the stream itself, the previous stream. I don't know why, but like it just OBS was not staying connected. Like I was dropping frames left and right. I was running at basically. I was losing like 50% of 50% of frames, and there was just no reason for it. I think I just needed to restart my computer because it seems like it's running fine now. So if I feel up for it, I can stream later today on my other channel, which once again is Jack Daedalus. If anybody wants to see me when I play games and stuff, I'll probably actually start dropping. I have some ideas of content I want to drop. All right. I don't think I got anything else. Yeah, sorry this is like a bit of a chaotic stream. It's just me. Yeah, I just didn't have the energy to do all the stuff I was supposed to do today. On the next one.